Hello Libra, and welcome back to my channel Inspiring Life Changes, for those of you who have been here before, and a big welcome to those of you who've come across to find out what it's all about at this time. Sorry, just adjusting my hair there. My name's Colette. I am an intuitive tarot reader of over 30 years experience, and the reading I'm doing today is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising. There will be a link for a free natal astrology chart in the description box down below for you to go and check out your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign. If you don't know where any of those placements are, you may know which sun sign you are, you may know where your moon is as well, but you probably don't know where your Venus is. Most people don't know all of their signs and their planets, where they are, and it just kind of gives you more material to go and work with, because you can then also check out the other signs that correspond with your own planets as well, particularly your Venus sign in this reading, because this is a love reading for Libra that I'm doing today for you and the person that you have an energetic connection with here, Libra. So yeah, just go and check out the link down below, and also check out your Venus sign, which will correspond, and kind of gives you, like I was saying, a bigger picture to work with. And it's also really worth knowing where your planets are, because then you can have a greater understanding of what's taking place in the bigger picture with the astrology as well, if you're interested in that. So Libra, you and a person that you have an energetic connection with, that doesn't have to be a love connection, it can be a friendship, it can be a family member, it can be somebody who you have had a relationship with in the past, but you're not still seeing them, but that doesn't mean that you don't have an energetic connection still to that person as well. So the cards have been laid out in 3 sets of 3. The top row is the past, recent past, or the past from way back, just the past energy, which basically can affect your present energy as well, which can then go on to affect your future energy. So it is past, present and future leading into and the most likely result. It doesn't mean that that's exactly what's going to happen, because nothing is set in stone, of course. And also I always start my reading off with a cup card taken from a suit of the tarot, or a deck of a tarot, and this time I'm using my Mythic Tarot deck at this moment. And we have the 9 of Cups for you here, Libra, and the 9 of Cups being the cup of reunion, wish fulfillment, wanting something to come back together even. The 6, sorry, sorry, I'm getting confused here. 6 cups down here kind of represent that, but it can represent that soulmate, somebody you have a very, very strong bond with. It is kind of known in many circumstances now as being the 6 of Cups card itself, the kind of soulmate, twin flame kind of energy. But it kind of does mean on some level that there is a very strong connection. And you also have the 3 cups here as well that she's holding in her hand, which of course also, if you take that in the context of the 3 of Cups, also represents the celebration, the initial celebration. But of course it was just an initial celebration, because it's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point here. So it may be that you're looking back and reflecting on that energy as well, because the 6 of Cups can also be a card in this deck of melancholy, of kind of looking back over the past. But there is this kind of wanting something more. You've got the 2 of Cups here as well, with the 2 lovers, both bringing their cup into this. And of course, the cup that is represented here by Aphrodite is the kind of initial energy of love as well. If we break down this card, the Nine of Cups card, that's how I tend to see it. So there is love here. There is a strong bond here. But it could also be that this energy isn't actually happening at this time, because we also have on the bottom of the cards here this 7. So that is also reflected here with the 6 and the cup that Aphrodite is holding here. And this, of course, is Aphrodite. And this is Psyche. And this is kind of saying, was it just fantasy? Was it just castles in the air? Was it just kind of like, did I read too much into it? Was I expecting too much from it? But Psyche knows what she wants. Here she's being offered lots of different choices. Aphrodite is basically saying to her, I can give you any of these. You can have whatever it is that you want here. But Psyche is kind of saying, nope, nope. She's on her knees. She's praying there to Aphrodite, and she's kind of saying, I don't want any of them. I know what I want, and I'm going to kind of stick with what I want, single-mindedly, which for me is also this cup here as well, the focus of love. So that's what is, and we actually have the Ace of Cups underneath here as well. As I'm speaking about that, we also have the Ace there too. So there is a lot of love in this situation, and I'm going to start the actual reading off here with this card of the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords, swords themselves, mental energy, lots of angst, lots of worry, lots of stress in the 6 of Swords. But also a kind of knowing that you have to move away from something that has been causing you all these problems, that you can't solve something here. This, of course, was in the past. And it's in reverse, so it feels as though there was a kind of reluctance here as well. But these swords are being used to bridge this gap between the past and the future, building this bridge to escape, basically, to get over that gap, to remove yourself out of that situation and into a different one that is a lot calmer. But it does feel like a saying, because it's in reverse, it does feel as though somebody didn't want to do this, that this was a reluctant path that was taken, or decision that was made. And we also have the Hierophant here in the centre. So, or as the next card, should I say. So the Hierophant can speak of, again, the Hierophant, interestingly enough, the word Hierophant is also the word Pontifex, and the word Pontifex literally means bridge. So it was known as the bridge between the non-physical realm and the physical realm. So this could have really pushed your trust in something here, because the Hierophant does question, we do question judgment as well, but it is upright, it is solid, there is a groundedness about this energy. It often has a lot of connotations around religion, faith in general, trusting what you've been led to believe, what you've been brought up with. It can be to do with traditional religion, but something kind of bridging this gap, it feels to me, literally. Like maybe that's what kept you strong, was knowing you were making the right decision, even though it was a painful decision, that there was some strength. And because there's also this bull in the background here as well, which is why it's known as the card of Taurus. Personally, I don't see it as a Taurus card. I see it much more as a Sagittarius card. I see it's kind of pushing beyond the boundaries, moving away from limitations. Sagittarius being a mutable sign. Of change. And also there's lots of, if you see that also here we have these like constellations. They look like constellations to me, these star signs. Hierophant energy can also be about learning, about knowledge, learning new things, things that haven't yet been revealed, or things that you have learnt from this process. But it is often, the Hierophant for me is often unconventional rather than conventional energy, although it is seen as being traditional. But again, I see it more as pushing beyond those boundaries of where you've been. And you have the Eight of Swords here as well as the final card. So the Eight is about trapped, being trapped in something, being trapped in your own thought processes, in your own mind. Here you see this little figure who's kind of put down all these swords. It's like all of these swords represents a mental situation, a situation that has kind of led you to where you are now, or where you have been, where you're coming out of. This state of feeling as though you don't have any opportunities, or you don't have any movement here, you don't have any, it's kind of this card, because this is a major arcana card, is saying push beyond those boundaries, and yet here you're kind of stuck behind your own boundaries. You've put up your own boundaries, but not in a particularly good way, because this is about limitation. This is about keeping yourself in a very limited viewpoint, a very limited way of looking at something, in the respect that you are very determined, shall we say, to keep this idea, this vision of yours very, how can I put it, very single-minded about it. You're very, like, you're not being flexible. It's like this way and this way only. You're not going to let any other thought process in. I'm very kind of dismissive of the different ideas that could possibly free you from this as well. So all it takes though is really to kind of, for this character here, to just get up and walk away, but he's kind of kept there by his own fears, his own limited understanding of something as well. So he's yet to grow beyond, or she, gender doesn't really apply. It's just I see this as a he character, but whichever, he, she, both, is yet to free themselves from this energy. And then we have the Three of Swords in your present energy. Three of Swords is saying there's a lot of heartache here. Literally something has been mortally wounded. There's this feeling of kind of like very much related to this energy here as well, of this, the reason that you're feeling so trapped and so stuck and so blocked is because you have this painful situation, and because it's in reverse, you may not even want to be looking at this time. This could also be why you're kind of blocking everything off, not allowing yourself to go beyond this pain, not allowing yourself to look at this pain. This could even have been a marriage as well for some of you. It could have been a marriage that is kind of coming apart. You had to walk away from, you had to leave it behind. Because it is still causing a lot of grief here that hasn't been dealt with, that hasn't been looked at, that hasn't been acknowledged even on some level. And it does feel frozen. It's kind of, that's the impression I'm getting here, is that something has frozen. It's just like frozen. You've just kind of gone into freeze mode. Like, let's not look at that. Even, yeah, because it's so painful. So very painful and very deeply felt as well. But you do have, at the very heart of your reading here, very centre of your reading, and I see the centre of the reading, the heart of the reading, as being the energy that kind of emanates out and comes back in again. It's where everything kind of centralizes, literally. The frequency, the energy is all coming in and out from this point here. And the Wheel of Fortune is literally saying that things are changing, that this is divine timing. You can't force anything to happen quicker than it is happening. There is a feeling of destiny involved here as well with the Wheel of Fortune. And I also get the impression here with these two birds and their feathers that there's something about being entwined as well. There's this feeling of being entwined with this person, that even though you walk away and even though you're feeling heartbroken, there's still this energy of this something energetic that is still connecting you very strongly here. That you are that you affect each other. When something happens to one, it affects the other on an energetic level. And somebody here, possibly you Libra, possibly the person that you have an energetic connection with, is feeling very left out, very outside. On the wrong side. It's like this wall that has been built up here. I'm seeing that as the same kind of energy here. And it does feel kind of like very frozen as well, very kind of protective, like a protective wall. But interestingly, this kind of frame here has got these like little glowing lights coming out of it that are falling on this person down here as they're sleeping on this other side of the wall. And again, like it's coming from this crazy kind of fiery background, but I do kind of feel as though it's this connection between the two of you. That even though you are on the other side of this wall now, there's still this strong kind of awareness of each other. Is how it's coming through. Possibly even dreaming about each other, or one of you dreaming about the other. And it also feels like a healing energy as well on some level, for some reason. That something is healing, that something is possibly even kind of thawing here. And there may even be regret as well with this Five of Pentacles. Regret for having walked away. Maybe you feel as though you walked away too quickly here. You didn't think things through. Didn't think about the loss that it was actually going to make you go through here. And what it actually meant. And you have the Ace of Swords as your future energy. And I'm kind of seeing it as this kind of thawing out of something. Again, it's this kind of similar light that's falling out of the window here. It's kind of bringing something, feels like bringing something back to life, like some kind of understanding, some clarity, some truth, because it feels very lit up and very like something, it just feels like something is thawing here, whereas this feels very frozen. This feels like something is beginning to thaw, something is beginning to maybe be less painful now as you're kind of taking a look at this, possibly seeing another side of the story here, or understanding things clearer. For some reason it's got this kind of Excalibur energy about it. Arthur and the stone. This kind of really focused, single-minded. Again, I think I was talking about that earlier, this single-minded approach to something, but here it's single-minded and kind of very limiting, kind of keeping you in this place that you don't want to be, whereas this is single-minded and focused, but in a much more determined to free yourself from this energy. That's how it's coming through, like you're determined to free yourself, to thaw yourself from this, to not allow it to kind of cloud your judgment on your decision making and your ability to think about anything. Like you have been thinking about it in a very, very negative way, but now you're beginning to think about it in a more releasing way. I wouldn't say a positive way as such. I don't think you've got to that point yet, Libra, but it's kind of releasing this thawing, this freezing that has happened to your heart. It's kind of saying that this is, you know, it's time to kind of pull that sword out, to remove it. Because the card that we have after the Ace of Swords is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is also about the hidden realm. So you've got the Hierophant, which has led to the High Priestess energy. But the High Priestess here is in reverse. This is the subconscious realm. This is the realm that you need to go into. So you're still kind of logically processing. And the High Priestess energy here is saying you need to go deeper. You need to go into your feelings, into your instinctual, intuitive, subconscious, the feeling realm. This is where you're going to find what you're looking for. This is where your answers lie. This is still the place that you don't want to go into. You don't want to go down that tunnel, is how it's feeling. And then we have 3 cards that have all come out together for the ending of this. We have the 5 of Swords, which can be very self-deceptive and sabotaging energy. There's a lot of swords in this reading, Libra, a lot of logic. And of course you are an air sign, so you do tend to analyse things a lot as well, and weigh things up in the balance and try to be fair, but at the same time I feel at this time it's kind of something that is very frozen. I mean, it's all very, apart from the 5 of Pentacles, that's about the only real light that's there at the moment, and you're not seeing that either because you're on the other side of the wall. You're not seeing this light. You're not seeing this. Oops, sorry, wrong card. You're not seeing, but I feel as though it is beginning to awaken you to the bigger understanding and the bigger picture. But it is going to take time for you to accept this, because everything else, literally, we have. If I show you all the cards here, this is what we have. It's the wrong way round. Here we go. A lot of sword energy. A lot of thinking, a lot of logic, a lot of trying to work things out without the emotions, without involving your emotions here, Libra, because the emotions have been frozen. So, 5 of Swords and the Lovers in reverse is what we're ending on here. And the 4 of Pentacles. So there is self-sabotage, there is deception, and it is around a partnership, a relationship that you've had. I don't feel as though it's a relationship that you're still in, except energetically. You haven't let this go, because you've also got the 4 of Pentacles here as well. You are kind of determined to hold on to this energy here. And I also feel with this Four of Pentacles as well that you're kind of lowering that wall here. You've kind of lowered it down. It's not as high now as it was. And you're beginning to see over this edge, even though it's kind of the 4 and then the 5. This time it's like the 5 and then the 4. So it feels to me like things are growing, even though people would say that it's going backwards. It's like regression rather than progression. But for me today, it's coming through as you kind of waking up to something, a realization that actually you don't want to let this go. You don't want to let this go. There's a sense of playing your cards close to your chest even as well. The Five of Swords, conflict, outer conflict, kind of realizing that maybe there has been a lot of conflict. Again, reversed, Five of Swords, the Lovers are both reversed energies here. So I still feel as though this is a process of you coming to terms with something here. Maybe you're even coming to terms with the part that you played in this. Your role in this. That it takes more than one person to have arguments or be in conflict or disagree. It's that kind of energy. To not see eye to eye, to not be on the same page all the time. And that sometimes you just can't be. But there is this sense of like, I don't want to let this go. I'm going to hold on to this. Especially since you've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the High Priestess energy, although that was upside down as well. They're all big energies as well, Libra, that you're working with and through here. And if I look downwards, we have all of these three literally in a row like that as well. Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune, and the High Priestess. All in a row in the centre, going down the middle. Which could also imply, the Hierophant can also imply a stubbornness of your beliefs in things, your stubbornness of kind of like not wanting to be challenged as well, not wanting to have your beliefs challenged, your foundation, tradition challenged, so you can't go beyond those boundaries. You kind of stay stuck in your own conditioning, because this person causes too much. They cause you to question, and you don't want to question what it is that you feel is your, what, so it's not upside down, what you feel is your foundation, your grounding, your solid understanding of something. And that could be something that you've been brought up with from a child that makes sense to you but doesn't make sense to this other person. And it could have caused lots of conflict. But you are very strongly connected with this person. I just get this sense of being entangled. Yeah, entanglement. There's like these two snakes here. But there's also two birds as well. And with the High Priestess energy, it's kind of saying that this is the realm you need to go into. You need to kind of look into this side of yourself, this energy here, which is going to help move you on, move you forward. Because there's also a pomegranate in this as well. Pomegranate is about, well, symbolically it's about fertility, but it can also be about growth, about fresh, like new life, new understanding. But it is in reverse. And I feel as though it's this kind of opposite energy of this. So this is what you know, this is what you believe, this is what you have been brought up to understand, whereas this is much more the kind of unknown realm. It can be the psychic realm, the dream world, which can be a fearful place as well for some, for many, who need to have that kind of solid foundation. When this kind of enters into your world, it kind of throws you off, makes you feel unbalanced perhaps as a Libra. You don't understand it. So let's see. But I do feel as though there's this wanting to bring things back together with this Nine of Cups energy here. Somebody is wanting to bring things back together. Somebody is wanting this happy reunion here. And this kind of understanding of, like, even though we've been through these trials and tribulations, that we belong together, that you are the right person for me. But it may be that you're still not ready to accept that. Yeah, we have the Ace of Swords here again, over the top of the Six of Swords for yourself. This Ace of Swords is in reverse, so I'm kind of feeling that this was a sense of disagreements, not seeing eye to eye. One person had very different ideas and opinions and views of the world, and you couldn't connect them. You couldn't connect the two worlds. So you used that energy to build a bridge to escape from it, because it wasn't possible to bring them together. At that time anyway. Doesn't mean that that's how it is, but at that time, that's the energy that you were in. So, over the top of your Hierophant energy, the person you have this energetic connection with, and sorry, I should have said cross watchers, I am really bad at this. This deck of cards is for yourself, and this deck of cards is for Libra. But if it doesn't work out that way, if you feel that it's the other way around, if you resonate more with this deck and the story that I've just told there, then cross it over, literally. And if you feel, Libra, that this is more your story, then absolutely do the same thing. So over the top of this Hierophant energy, this person has the Hangman, as I was saying. So something here had to be surrendered. Something had to be let go of, walked away from. Again, it's upside down. It's reluctant. It wasn't something that was easily done. But new perspective was needed. New understanding was needed. Somebody needed to get a different look at this, which they couldn't get while they were involved in this relationship at that time. Their judgment was also, or their way of seeing things was also very clouded, also very, I don't want to say limited, but or blocked, but it was like the two of you clashed. There was just this kind of clashing. It feels like this clashing of, I don't think it's personalities so much, although it may have come out as personalities, but it feels more like background, like a clashing of, yeah, background. Like you came from very different places, very different backgrounds, and that's why you had to leave this. The pair of you had to walk away from this. Again, it wasn't easy. But one of you had a very kind of traditional view of the world and how things should be. And the other one had a much more, let's say, alternative view of the world, for want of a better word. An alternative view, a different view. Yeah. Three of Swords again. A lot of pain in this relationship. It caused a lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, a lot of soul searching. But I feel that this person, whichever person this is, went through this process sooner than this person. And I also feel on some level that it was heartbreaking for this person, because they really wanted to try and kind of release you from this energy. They really wanted to try and kind of get you to see things in a different way, to understand things in a different way, to see the world the way they viewed it. But it just caused a lot of heartache and a lot of grief, and you kind of just closed off even more. The more they tried to get you to understand their perspective of things and how they view the world. the more you just closed down and closed off and blocked yourself, Libra, it feels. Which caused this person to feel all this heartache and grief, and that they were just kind of wasting their time, wasting away. That you couldn't accept who they were. Because it does feel on a kind of very fundamental level that the energies here were very different, very disagreeable as well, very different, very yeah, from two different ends of the spectrum. So you were both basically causing each other all this grief by, it feels like, holding on to your own viewpoints, your own it feels like there was a stubbornness here. Stubbornness. Somebody wasn't willing to open up to this inner world, to the fact that there could be more than just the physical realm, than what you can touch and taste and see, and which is a very kind of earth energy. And so over the top of the Three of Swords, we have the Three of Pentacles. And so I feel as though this person didn't just kind of walk away and leave you completely. I feel as though they kind of left this door open for you. To let you know that they were still there, because you see this person very much as this kind of, there is this kind of destiny connection here. It's almost like they were this kind of guiding light to you, this kind of inspiration, but you still had problems accepting it, Libra. You still couldn't quite open yourself up to it. This person wanted to, I feel as though they wanted to help you grow into something more. And that they kind of tried to kind of keep this light shining for you. Yeah, because if you look here, there's actually two people here, and he is kind of holding her up. There's these three stars here as well, and this moon energy. So yeah, that's how it's coming across, that this person didn't, it's like their energy was still there, it was still kind of holding you up, it was still kind of letting you know they were in some ways just kind of still, whether that was even energetically kind of pouring out this energy towards you to help with this process here, is how it's coming through. It's like they didn't give up on you. Libra is how it's feeling. They didn't give up on you, even though you may have felt that they had. They didn't. They left the door open is how it's coming across. And they left it up to you to decide for yourself whether you were going to join them. So over the top of the Wheel of Fortune we have the Page of Wands. Page is young energy, creative energy, expressive energy, fiery energy. It's the energy of Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, passion, drive. Can also be an energy of leaving something behind and moving on to something else on an energetic level. It's like, although this is in reverse here, it kind of feels as though this person's energy got stuck in this. And because the Page of Wands is often kind of wanting to go out and explore and have new experiences, because he knows that's how he can grow. He, she, again, gender is irrelevant. But they know that that's part of their growth, is to experience and to learn through those experiences. And without those experiences, they don't learn, they don't grow. But it is in reverse. So it feels as though this energy feels very much like this energy, like this entanglement. Like this person couldn't move on either. Like as much as they might have wanted to move on, they actually couldn't do that. They were kind of stuck in this energy of wanting to, it feels like just wanting to kind of help you, Libra, somehow. Again, the Wheel of Fortune is often a card of destiny, of a kind of feeling of, you know, everything's happening to you rather than with you or for you, and that you have no control over that destiny. I'm not taking all those cards. That you have no control over your destiny. It's kind of often shown as a wheel with kind of people on the outside, and it's like as the wheel turns, some go to the bottom, some go to the top. There's a karmic element within the Wheel of Fortune as well. It could also be that that was kind of what was keeping this person, I feel as though, you know, their energy was there, it was with you, it was kind of trapped in this energy with you. Which is why I feel that there was this energetic entanglement here. But the Wheel of Fortune is also a realization on some level that you are actually at the very center of your own wheel, and that the rest of the universe is kind of responding in some ways to whatever it is that you are putting out there. So as you put it out there and as the wheel turns, you move to wherever it is that you are creating. The energy that you are creating is what's kind of bringing it all together. If you understand what I mean, it's kind of like whatever you put out there previously, you're then going to, as the wheel turns, you're going to meet that energy. And so you're going to kind of, if you're still putting out the same kind of thought patterns, then you're still going to get the same scenario. Maybe in a slightly different style, but you're still going to experience the same situations. Not always exactly the same, but so over the top of the Five of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles here as well. Which is an interesting energy. And the Five of Pentacles is you feeling as though you've got nothing. You're at a loss. You're kind of rock bottom. You've lost everything. You're feeling as though you're very much on your own. And even if there are people around you, you're still feeling as though the one thing that you're wanting isn't there. So therefore, you feel abandoned, unloved. Whereas this energy here with the Seven of Pentacles is much more about harvesting for the future, to keep growing, to keep things moving, to keep things alive. It's like rewards for the services or for the hard work that you've put in, the rewards. Knowing that there's going to be benefit in it. It just feels as though this person's energy, they kind of started looking after themselves here. Possibly there was a shift of energy here. Because it looks to me as though this person is now kind of taking care of themselves for this Seven of Pentacles energy. It's like their rewards, reaping the rewards of the energy that they've put into something here. But again, it feels more on an energetic level. Sense of whatever this person is putting out there, they are receiving the abundance back. Or they're beginning to see the rewards for the time and the energy and the effort that they've put into something here. They're beginning to see the rewards of it, of not giving up. And it does feel like a shift, because with your own energy here as well, kind of the Ace of Swords, which is coming up next, was the kind of the thawing out energy here. So let's see. Why is the Ace of Swords here as well? We'll take these two then. 5 of Pentacles and the Moon. Interesting. So, both of you have the 5 of Pentacles energy here. And this is the energy that's moving in. Into the future. This is the future energy, and this is over the top of your Ace of Swords here. So this person may well feel as though it's too late, as though they've lost, like yourself in this card here, that you yourself also felt that energy, which is interesting because it's kind of like you two are stepping behind each other. It's like, if you look here, you've got the 3 of Swords as their last energy for your past energy, and then in your present energy you have the 3 of Swords as the first energy here, and then you have the 5 of Pentacles as your last card in your present energy, and then they have it in the future energy. So it's almost like there's something going, like, this is what I feel with this connecting energy. It's like something, you two are very closely connected. There's this bond here, almost like this unspoken something. Unspoken something. Like whatever one person feels, the other one feels, but not necessarily at the same time. So it's not like mirroring each other as such, but it's like, I don't know how to put it. It's like, it's not mirroring because you're not doing it at the same time, but it's like one person goes through something and then the other person experiences it just a little bit later. So this person is going to go into that same energy of feeling that everything's lost, that they haven't succeeded here. That whatever they was doing is pointless, hasn't come to fruition, even though I feel as though on some level it has. I just feel that it's not noticeable yet. So there's, again, feelings of regret, feelings of sadness, feelings of being shut out or shutting themselves out, which is exactly the same energy as what you have up there. But they also have come out with this, the Moon, which can also relate very much to this energy, this High Priestess energy. You literally have, and I was going to say something about this earlier, but I didn't, this moon symbol here. It looks, I don't think it actually is a moon, but it has these kind of very symbolic kind of moon crescent shape look about it. It can also be seen as kind of like a portal as well. That energy there, a portal into the kind of the unknown realm. And of course the moon, and it's here as well in this energy. You can see it here as well, this moon energy. And the moon is an energy of the emotions. It can be about things being kept hidden, or it can also be about things being very much brought out into the light, things being made very obvious, very apparent, very aware. Somebody can no longer hold their emotions back. They have to show how they're feeling. And so this person may surprise you, Libra, with this this feeling of rejection. Is how it's coming over. Rejection and dejection. And just this overall sense of it just feels like loss, of losing what they've they really thought they were they were kind of really wanting. It just feels like this supportive energy that kind of feels like they feel, or they believe on some level, that it's over, it's done, that there's no going back, there's no, like the cracks, it feels like here the cracks are showing in this there's cracks in the walls, like the cracks are showing, things are beginning to crumble around them. The moon may also be kind of highlighting all of this for this person. It just feels like a very emotional situation. Very highly charged emotional situation that this person has to kind of express. And of course you've got the Ace of Swords here as well, which can also be to do with communication, and this energy did feel as though it was thawing out as well. So maybe also there's this need to be aware of this person's, it feels like a kind of fragileness, here, almost like they're trying to kind of make sense of what's gone on, or what's going on, their own emotions, and it's kind of driving them a bit batty, because they don't actually have the facts, they don't actually know, because there's been a lot of kind of holding everything back here, all this blocking energy with non-communication and non-expressiveness. So this person's kind of trying to make sense of it all, but they don't necessarily know that that's the truth. And that's what I feel that this is about as well. It's like, what is the truth here? What is the truth? Can you be truthful here? Because I'm feeling as though I'm kind of starting to crack up. As though I'm trying kind of, it's a bit like, I always liken it, the moon often can be like having a jigsaw puzzle. You've got nearly all the pieces, but you've got pieces missing, so you're kind of trying to find what makes sense, trying to make the picture into what you think it should be, but you haven't actually got all the pieces or the information or the facts or the kind of knowledge that you need, so you kind of have to make it up, because sometimes being in this moon energy, because the moon also of course can relate to lunacy, and for me when the moon is upright, it has this tendency of being the full moon, of it being very emotionally charged, of it being very easy to kind of overstep that boundary of what's real, what's reality, what isn't reality. And you've also got this kind of energy here as well, this High Priestess card, which is ruled by I mean, yeah, Neptune. This is very Neptune energy, the High Priestess, the unknown realm. So it just feels to me that this person is going to be in this energy of this kind of fragile. It's just this fragile emotional state. They may actually cry a lot. Page of Cups in reverse. And the Eight of Swords. Again, see? Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords. And this is over the top of your High Priestess energy, which is actually in reverse. So again, I'm getting that kind of emotional fragility with this card as well. This person, I feel that they just are in a very fragile state of being, because we also have this Eight of Swords energy here, which is kind of relating to this energy here as well, very similar. And like I said, you also have this Eight of Swords energy. So it does feel, as I was saying, that this person's emotional state of being is very fragile. Yes, very fragile is the word that keeps coming through here. Fragile, fragility, very kind of like they don't know who to trust anymore. Like they trusted you, but it kind of, yeah, okay, they trusted you, but now they feel as though possibly there was misplaced trust, that they opened up to you, and they're actually now experiencing the reverse energy. They're now experiencing this blocked energy, and in some ways you're kind of possibly becoming more open as they become less so. But they're kind of becoming more retreating more into themselves somehow. There is a lot of sadness, a lot of sadness, a lot of, it also feels like a lot of, what's the word, not deception, not, it's like a lot of self-blame here. This person is blaming themselves here, big time, blaming themselves for what's happened here. Maybe because they trusted you and they feel that they shouldn't have done, or maybe that they caused this to happen on some level, that it was their fault. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that that is possibly what they are feeling and experiencing at this time, that it was all their fault. Because of course you have this card here as well. So there's a lot of kind of unknowns here as well. A lot of unknowns, a lot of not bringing the truth into the open, a lot of it just feels like really highly charged energy at this time that the pair of you are kind of experiencing. And this High Priestess energy here in reverse is saying you're not listening to your own your own inner voice here. You're not listening, Libra, to your own intuition, your own knowing. You're kind of closing that off, closing the door to it. And it's kind of, I feel as though it's kind of making this person suffer even more because of it. So whatever's going on here is kind of causing this suffering for this person to feel this suffering even stronger, even, yeah. It's like this sense of they just really wanted to just wanted to help you see things on a different level of understanding yourself as well, Libra. But now they just feel as though they're trapped in this kind of sense of blame. I don't feel as though it's blame from you. I feel it's more from themselves. This person is blaming themselves. And they're suffering. They are suffering over this. There's some big suffering going on over this. Well, there is going to be, because this is the future energy that we're dealing with here. It could all even be happening now, but depending, of course, on when you watch this reading, as there are no times or dates on my readings, because I think that whenever you're meant to find this, you will, and if it resonates with you at that time, then it's meant for yourself. This person is getting to, or going to get to the point where they realise that they have to put this burden down. And I feel as though they're kind of really going to get to the point of realising that it's not their place or their job to open you up to whatever it is that you're closed off to. And with this Four of Pentacles, that could also be that energy as well, that you're, as much as you're holding on to something, you're also closed off to it changing or being anything other than the way that you want it to be here, Libra. But this person is coming to that realization. It's been hard work, it's been a lot of struggle, or they will come to this realization. And with the Ten of Wands upright, it's like they suddenly get to that point of like, I need to let this be. I need to let this drop. I need to let this go. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to let the relationship go, or that they're going to let you go, or that they're going to walk away completely from this. But it does mean that they are kind of coming to a realization and understanding that they can really only look after themselves here. And that's okay. In the sense of your, whatever your path is, whatever your journey is, whatever your level of awareness is even, it's not their role or their business or part of their relationship to kind of try and make you open up to things that you are not possibly ready to open up to yet. If you're not ready, Libra, then you're not ready. If you're not at that level of growth that this person themselves has reached, then they can't force it, they can't make it happen. And that's not what they're supposed to be doing. Because they've been carrying this a long time, because now it's a 10, and the 10 is all about something that ends. It's about final, it's about reaching that point of conclusion, reaching that point where we're saying, now I need to let this go. Now I need to just let this be. I need to let go of this energy. I need to drop this burden. It's not helping me. If anything, it's exhausting. And where it goes from there is obviously your decision and their decision, Libra. But something is going to be let go of on an energetic level here. Something that has been carried, a burden that has been carried. And it may not just be to do with your relationship here. This may have something to do with something that this person has been carrying for themselves for a long time, that they need to release and let go. And that they're kind of coming to that realization. Beautiful card. Not that they aren't all beautiful, but this is the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back, Libra. Looks like quite a Libra card, actually, in the sense of it being kind of a bit like the sense of wings and the balance and kind of harmony and blue as well, of course, because Libra is a air sign. I always kind of connect blue with air signs. I've lost my books, so I'm not exactly very prepared here, and I should have been. So the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit, here we go. According to the spiritual text, A Course in Miracles, the Holy Spirit mediates between illusion and truth. It's talking about here, the truth, and of course here as well. It's the essence that allows us to move beyond the illusion or fear or the illusions that our fear has created. It's the holiest light of truth and love that we can ever experience, an aspect of our truest self, the self that's never separate from God, source, creative energy, however you prefer to see it, universe. When it appears in a reading, prepare for the miraculous. Expect the unexpected. Expect miracles. A real turnaround is possible now. Angels are dancing around you, leaving behind thoughts, memories and feelings that are no longer serving you. And remember the love that you are. Move into your heart and allow that love to shine out into the world. Then miracles can happen. The thawing of your heart here, Libra, is how that's coming through for me. So let's quickly pull you some light angels. I spent quite a long time on this reading. So what have we got? The clock is ticking away. It's quite a long reading. Communication. The angels remind you that being spiritual is about being genuine and honest. When you speak from the heart, others feel the resonance of truth and trust you. Talk positively. Focus on the good in life and you will feel happier and healthier. Communication is a two-way process. Listen with interest and respond openly. This will improve all relationships. Communicate constantly with Source using prayer, which is asking, and meditation, which is listening. Always keep channels of communication open. Be a bridge to others' hearts and minds. Ask your angel to step into your aura and communicate in a higher way through you. And the affirmation is, I communicate clearly and honestly. So Libra, I'm going to leave that there and say that I hope that it has been of some help. I hope that you have got something from this reading. If you have, please could you like it for me, thumbs it up, because it really does help to get it out into the bigger YouTube world where it can get picked up by the algorithms out there, and also can be recommended by other channels as well, which really helps because other people tend to take notice of recommended videos and come back and watch the video that's been recommended, which then they can decide whether or not they want to subscribe. And thank you very much to those of you who have liked my videos. I really do appreciate the thumbs up that I've had recently. Been really great. Thank you very much. And also to those of you who have subscribed to my channel recently, thank you very much as well. Again, I really appreciate it. It is really helping me to grow my channel and get my messages out there. So there is a subscription button on my videos if you want to tap that, and like it opens up the little bell thing and you can decide whether you want to get the videos as and when I put them out. Also, I do all of the new moon and full moon videos, the astrology and the tarot for both, as well as doing all the zodiac signs as well, and everything is on my playlist. So if you're interested in finding out any more about my videos, you will be able to find it all on my playlist. Also check out your moon and your Venus and your rising sign, as well as your cusp energy as well. If you are a cusp Libra, you're going to be either the 0 point moving out of Virgo, so it might help to watch the Virgo reading as well if that resonates with you. And also the 29-degree mark, you're going to be moving into the Scorpio energy, so you may want to watch the Scorpio video, which I will be putting out very soon as well. So with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Please also comment and share my videos if you know of anybody who may be in a situation like this and that it will benefit them and help them in some way. That would be really good for you to share my videos too. So thank you again, and please take really good care of yourselves, Libra, at this time, and take really good care of anybody else around you who you are capable of doing so for. And hopefully I will see you again soon.